Hi traders, this is Cynthia of Day Trade Forex bringing you a short introductory video to my new Xtra Advanced Trend and Flat alert system. Just want to show you basic features of the Xtra Advanced alert system and show you how I set up my charts to start off my trading day. First of all, I have a bunch of 5-minute charts set up, and I'm going to go through them with you. You don't have to set up 5-minute charts. That's more of a scalping system, but I need to get the alerts right now so I can show you how to trade the alerts. So normally I would set up 15-minute charts. I'd have them all set up in advance, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I'm going to show you how to trade the alerts. So first of all, the very first chart I have up is just the very basic Xtra Advanced alert system. It doesn't have any of the advanced features, which are the things that you already purchased, which is the Fibonacci Retracement tool, the Forex Factory Calendar Headlines, and the major key level indicator that draws the key levels right on your chart. So this is just the stripped down basic chart with no arrows, no alerts at all except for the alert system, and it will only alert you when the indicators are color coordinated and synchronized with the colored box and the RSI volatility window and the MACD volatility window, which is your trigger line. For the alert system, we found that it's better to have the boxes be 4-hour instead of daily, because sometimes the daily trend is just so far away from immediate reality, and we want you to have better quality trades. And so we decided to change the colored boxes for the alert system to be based on 4-hour trend instead of daily trend. So this is the basic chart, and I'm going to show you how I get my EasyOrder and Cynthia's trailing EA onto the chart, because you do want to use your trading tools. Those are the two trading tools that semi-automate your trading and make your trading a lot easier, and so that you can avoid all of the clumsiness associated with trying to trade with the MetaTrader up here with the new order and setting your stop and setting your take profit. All of that is time consuming and very clumsy. In the advanced system, you receive the EasyOrder script for your trade placement and Cynthia's trailing EA for your trade management. The EasyOrder is a script, so you're going to find it here under Navigator and Script, and there's only one that you're concerned with right now, and that's this EasyOrder, because you receive these other ones here, part of the EasyOrder, but that's just what makes it work. They need to be in there, but you're not concerned with them. All you want is this one basic EasyOrder. So I right mouse click on it and click Add to Favorites. And as bonus scripts, I gave you also close all loss, so you can add that to favorites. Close all loss, then close all profit, click Add to Favorites. Close all trades, select it, left mouse select it, and then right mouse click it in order to add it to your favorites. And in case you ever used pending trades. So now I have my EasyOrder in my favorites, plus these other scripts that I give you, plus Cynthia's trailing EA. That's under Expert Advisors, so you would find it under Expert Advisors. Left mouse click it, and then right mouse and add it to favorites. So right now we want to add the EasyOrder to the chart, and remember that up here, in order to have the EasyOrder attached to the chart and work properly, and also Cynthia's trailing EA, you have to go to Tools, Options, and Expert Advisors, and this is what your boxes need to look like. That's very important. Also, these trading systems, all of the indicators and everything, is very resource intensive, so I would recommend that you go to charts and change your max history max bars in history to 5,000. Same for the max bars in the chart. Change it to 5,000. It will make your trading platform perform better. If you ever find that it's not responding to you, it says maybe up here not responding, then it's because you need to change here in tools, options. It's just a tip. Okay, so now the tools is set up correctly. So now the EasyOrder, if we drag it over here, I left mouse click it and drag it, and it attaches. If I didn't have it set up correctly in tools, it would not attach. So if you're finding you can't get it to attach, you have to change your tool settings. So now we have the EasyOrder attached, and we have Cynthia's trailing EA attached. And there's 7 different trail types in here, and in the PDF I go through those, but because we're scalping, I'm going to choose the quick scalp, or I could choose the scalp. I like type 5 quick scalp, so just click that, and then it's already added the extra 0 to the quick scalp settings. This is trail type 5. Okay, that's my favorite one. You can learn all of the different 7 trail types and use my presets and get to understand the presets and each trail type, and you can finally at some point determine which trail type you personally like the best, and you just start using that. But if you use my presets, you'll learn how to change the settings, and it's all in the PDF. Okay, so this chart is now ready to trade. If I were to get a pop-up alert down here for the pound US dollar 5-minute, it'll tell me. And remember, everything will be synchronized and coordinated. All of the values will be coordinated. It'll all be coordinated with the colored box, which is showing you the 4-hour trend for the alert system. And the RSI has a special filter in it so that it won't give you buy or sell alerts if the price is oversold or overbought. We don't want you buying at the top and selling at the bottom if the RSI values are too high or too low. Right here, for instance, this is where the RSI is very overbought. You certainly don't want to trade alert getting you to buy at the top, and down here we don't necessarily want to trade alert telling you to sell at the bottom. So it needs to do a pullback in order for the alerts to be a valid alert. So if this box is red, so right now it's very oversold in a 5-minute chart, but if it pulls back a little bit and then starts to go back down, you'll get another alert, and that gives you a much better entry. Now I want to go through and look at some of these other charts. It looks like we just got an alert for the pound yen in the 5-minute to sell at 148.80. So let's take a look at this. So this is the high contrast, very basic chart, and it doesn't have any arrows. It has the alert system, but for those of you who don't want arrows and possibly don't want the EasyOrder or the trailing EA, you get a template that's very basic just with the alert system. But I like using the EasyOrder and I like using the trailing EA, so I'm going to choose, since we're in a 5-minute, I'm just going to choose quick scalp really quickly. Now what I do, since I have an alert, is I go to the 1-hour chart and I confirm that this is a pink box. And the reason I like to go up to a 1-hour chart to actually use the EasyOrder to place my trade is because the EasyOrder will place your take profit and stop loss lines directly on your chart and with your broker. However, the EasyOrder places stop and take profit at a risk to reward ratio of 1:1, and I like to use the risk to reward ratio of minimum 2:1. And what that means is that, say I have a 50 pip stop, then I want a 100 pip take profit. 1:1 risk to reward ratio is a 50 pip stop and a 50 pip take profit. However, you have to be really, really good at your trading and win maybe at least 80% of your trades in order to make headway and to grow your account. But if you're using 2 to 1, then you can lose more trades more frequently and still be ahead. Even better is if you're using 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So say your take profit is 300, then your stop loss would only be 100. So that's a 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio, and that is really my favorite way to trade. However, retracements are such a reality of Forex trading that if I want this to be set and forget, I definitely am using the trailing EA because I want it to manage my trade, because I don't want to be sitting here or checking back like a nervous Nelly every 15 minutes to see what my trade's doing and worrying about getting stopped out. If I have a 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio, the trade can run, and it depends on if I feel like trend for the day is strong, then I want a wider trailing EA setting. So I wouldn't choose the quick scalp or even the scalp. I would probably choose the swing. And the presets that I choose for the trailing EA really depend on how strong the trend is every single day. So, and it changes all the time. For instance, here in the pound yen in the 1 hour chart, the size of the box shows you the range for the day, shows you the high and the low. And you can see this box was sort of a medium box. This was a very tall box, so the range was we had a very strong push to the upside right here. This is a narrow box, even a more narrow box. And then the next day was a very, very tall box, which shows a very strong trend. And you can see the high and the low. And then the next box happens to be a blue box that's almost equally as tall. But it means that when the day started at 5 p.m. Eastern, this was the price right here. And the box opened right at the same price and went up. So that changed the trend from down to up. So instead of having the day open with a pink box, it opened with a blue box because the price opened at the same as the close. And anytime you see the boxes change color anytime during the days, because it means that the price has exceeded the open price at 5 p.m. Eastern the day before, or the closing price. So the color of the box for the next day is totally depending on a few minutes after 5 p.m. Eastern, if the price opens above the close or below the close, and that'll determine the trend for the day, and that'll draw the color of the box. But if the price anytime during the day goes past the low of the previous day or past the high of the previous day, the color of the box will change, because that means the trend is changing. And because with the alert system, the boxes are now 4 hour, based on the 4 hour trend, it makes for better alert signals. So I hope I didn't lose you in that. I didn't really mean to get into that at this point because I'm still trying to show you how to trade. So, okay, we had a sell alert. Looking at the pound yen in the 5-minute chart, I'm noticing before I place my trade that the box color is changing. That means that the price is exceeding the high or the low of the opening of the day. So the price was down at the beginning of the day, and now the trend is changing, it's going up. So anytime you see the colored box flickering color, I would not place a trade for that, because it means that the trend is undecided and possibly changing. So if you look at the 15-minute chart, now the box is blue, and in a 30-minute chart the box is blue. That's because this candle that we're on, it has exceeded the high of the open. So at this candle at the open, this was the high, and now the price with the bid and the ask is going up above the open high, so it's changing the trend. So the box is flickering color. I don't ever place a trade in a box that's flickering color. And also the faster lower time frames, especially 5-minute, well, I don't usually use the 1 minute except for sometimes to get a more perfect entry. But basically I like to look at the 1 hour chart and see, and because this aqua dot has appeared and everything is green, even though we got the trade alert in the 5-minute chart, you have to switch to the 1 hour chart for two reasons. Number one, you want to check to see if you're really still in a downtrend, and even though the box is pink, the trend is changing because all of the colors are mixed. The RSI is green, the trend in flat indicator is green, and the MACD has crossed above the zero line. So basically you have all of these mixed signals here, and anytime you see mixed colors or mixed signals, don't get involved in the trade, because the true trend is reflected in the 1 hour chart. That's really the best chart you can use to check, to decide if you're actually going to follow a trade alert signal. Because just because you're in a 5-minute chart and you receive a trade alert signal doesn't mean you automatically jump into the trade. Just like with any kind of trading, you always have to check the higher time frames. And so for this alert system, the higher time frame to check is the 1 hour. I want to show you that the boxes do not show up in 4 hour, and they do not show up in daily or weekly or monthly. But if you want to check and see where the price is compared to today, you can see that in the pound yen, in the monthly chart, we had many months of a downtrend, and now we've had many months of a very mild uptrend. And you can see on this monthly candle here, it's possible that the trend is going to start going back down again. On a 4 hour, it looks like the trend is trying to go down a little bit, but you can see this is pretty much of a range. It's a wide range, but we did hit resistance 1, so it's bounced off resistance 1. So this is a pair. The pound yen is just a little bit in a range right now, but I think it's trying to go down, and the box color tells you that. So I would not take a sell trade. I would possibly watch this in a 30-minute and 1 hour chart, and then watch it also in a 15-minute chart. Now in a 15-minute chart, when it breaks down again and everything turns red here, then I would consider jumping in short. So I just want to tell you, even though this is a signal alert, just like any kind of manual trading, it's not a knee-jerk reaction that you just go and place your trade because you're in a 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart and you get an alert signal. You have to go look at the higher time frames. Okay, so I'm not placing this trade because it's just too undecided and it's going into a range area. Now we did get some alerts here while I was talking, and let's look at the gold chart because gold is fun to trade. It's a sell alert in a 5-minute, so it looks great in a 5-minute. It's perfect in a 5-minute. This is a Xtra Advanced chart. This is with all the advanced features. We're looking at the sell alert. So the box is still pink. It's just breaking down in a 15-minute chart, but you can see the SAR dot is still green. So basically, because you have 2 SAR dots, that's in the last 30 minutes. I would say even in the candle before that, we're in a range here. Today, the trend has not been very strong for most of the pairs, and tomorrow is FOMC announcement, and we're going into a major US holiday weekend. So even though I'm making this video on a Tuesday, there's not a lot of strong trends. So I'm just going to keep looking at this to see. And this is the advanced features, the advanced indicators. This is a nice downtrend, except for that the trend and flat just turned gray and the RSI is oversold and green. So again, let's look at it in a 1 hour. The 1 hour is a nice sell signal. I always use my EasyOrder on a 1 hour chart. I started to tell you why. 2 reasons. Number one, because it places your take profit and stop loss at a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 1, and I like to increase that to 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, and I'm going to show you now how to do it. The other reason is you definitely never want to place a trade until you go look at the 1 hour chart. So even if you have all of your charts set up for the alerts in 5 minute, even 1 minute, I wouldn't recommend that. Way too many alerts. It'll bing you to death. If you're okay and you want to sit here and you want to play, you want to scalp, you want to be busy, then a bunch of 5 minute charts all set up ready to trade, that's fine. If you want fewer alerts, set up all your charts in 15 minute. If you want even fewer alerts, better quality alerts, set up all your charts in 30 minute. And of course 1 hour is the best, because all of the lower time frames you're going to be getting alerts based on pullbacks, which is okay if you know what you're doing. I'm in a 1 hour chart now. I have this ready to go. I'm not going to worry about the lot size right now. It can be anything. However, you can't change your lot size until you choose buy or sell. So I know I'm going to sell. So now I can change my lot size. One standard lot, although it tells you according to your account size, this is just a small account here, to sell at 0.02. So don't go against that, because it's proper money management. You're not going to get rich by making huge lot sizes. You're going to get poor, because it takes fewer trades to wipe out your account if your lot sizes are bigger. So until you really know what you're doing, just keep your lot sizes according to this. This is set at risk of 2% for your account size, which is very conservative. If you're a good trader and an experienced trader and you learn this system, you can increase the risk percentage in the indicators to 3%, 4%, 5% max. So here I've got my lot size set. Now what it does is it places the EasyOrder stop loss at the latest support and resistance at a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 1. This is a perfect equidistance. If you want to measure it, it's 111 pips. So that means from where the price is, your stop is 50 pips, roughly, approximately, and your take profit is approximately 50 pips. So I'm selling, so I want to increase my reward, and it doesn't necessarily mean that because I'm scalping, that it's going to make any difference where I get, if I hit my target or not, because chances are I won't hit my target. Now the problem is take profit is sitting right on a major key level, so it's hiding. My EasyOrder take profit is hidden behind those lines. Now I finally was able to grab it. Now I can drag it down to this next key level, which is right on support too. So I'll just drop it right below that, and it's a little unrealistic because we're scalping. Now if I were swing trading, that would be very realistic. Now you notice here the MACD has gone flat. In reality, this time of day I wouldn't be placing this trade, but I'm just trying to show you how to trade with this system. I haven't gone through all of the charts yet. I started to, but this is the basic without any arrows. All of the charts have the alert system, but this is the basic dark regular chart, which has no arrows and has a trailing EA, and but I put that on there, although the template comes with it. But the EasyOrder is never part of a template. You always have to drag it over from either your common or your favorites. Get it into your favorites. It's a lot easier to find it when you want it. This is the high contrast basic chart. This is the basic chart with the darker colored boxes, but we've included the arrows because a lot of people like to trade with arrows. If then use this template, it'll have the trailing EA in it. It doesn't have the other advanced features like the Fibonacci Retracement tool or the major key levels or the Forex Factory Headlines. You can either add those to this template, or I do provide you with a template that has everything in it. Okay, the next chart is the high contrast template with the arrows. So you have your early arrow. These can be blue. Sometimes I have them in the chart as green, like green. You can change them. Just make blue or green is for up, red or pink or magenta is for down. So you can change the arrows, but just keep everything color coordinated because it's easier for your brain to process the information and make trading decisions if the colors are coordinated in the same pink or blue or green tones. This is the advanced chart with all of the features of the advanced system that you purchased, and I've already gone into how to use the advanced feature, so I'm not going to do that. But again, it doesn't have the easy order, so just drag the easy order because you want to have your chart set up and ready to trade. So I'm just showing you how to get set up for your trading day. Get your chart set up. You can choose whichever template. If you're advanced and you like all of these features, which include the Fibonacci retracement tool and the major key levels, you can choose this template. But if you're more of a beginner, stick with the simpler templates. Stick with at least the basic without the arrows, but a lot of people like the arrows, so choose the template with the arrows. You can choose it either the dark color or the light color with the arrows. With the trailing EA easy order, I'll be giving you a template that has the arrows, the alert, the trailing EA, and the Forex Factory Headlines, but without the really advanced indicators like the Fibonacci retracement tool. That's the hardest indicator to learn how to use. That's really only for seriously experienced traders who love Fibonacci, understand Fibonacci, love retracements, love the trading pullbacks and seeing them with the Fibonacci lines on their chart. That's a very advanced tool. It's not for beginners or newbies. But the key levels, I would recommend you understand the key levels and use them to trade between, because often price trades between major key level to major key level, and if you're scalping, the minor key levels 25 pips apart make for great entries and exit targets. So that's just something you can get into if you want to. Now this chart, this is just the dark colored advanced chart that has everything on it. Here's the advanced chart that has everything on it, but it's the high color contrast, which means it's a lighter pink and a lighter blue box. The easy order is never attached to a chart because it cannot be saved in a template. So when you're setting up your charts for the trading day, and you have to add the easy order manually to every chart. It's just the way it is. Now here's the advanced chart with absolutely everything in it. The easy order is there because I added it earlier, so it's all ready to trade with all of the advanced features. This is for the more experienced trader. And here we are back to the gold chart, and we did place a trade, a sell trade, and it's right here, minus $1.18. Now you can watch it in a 1 hour chart if you want, but I really like to watch things in a 30-minute chart, because, or even a 15-minute chart, because if I see that the price is reversed against me, now we knew that this was in a range, so it's going to be going up and down in a range, and we can see what the range is. Just use your crosshairs. At the very most it's a 20 pip range. That's stretching it. It's more like a 15 pip range. So we don't really know what it's going to do, but the 4 hour chart trend is down, so it's just experiencing a little bit of a retracement right now. But if the colored box changes color, then I'm going to exit the trade manually. And what you can do, this is where the scripts come in really nicely. You can close all of your loss trades, close all of your profit trades, close all of your trades, delete all your pending trades. I have one we didn't get to that chart. Oh, Well, okay, so it reached the high and the chart had turned blue, but look, in a 5-minute chart you have the big arrow, so possibly it's going to start coming down. So I could manually close this trade, but now that I see all of this, of course it's going into a range. Look at this range area here. So if it keeps going down, I'm going to let the trade ride. But if I wanted to close, this is my only winning trade at the moment, well, maybe I'll do it. I'll show you. We'll choose close all profits. So because it's the US dollar yen. Now, I do have 2 sell trades on for the US dollar yen, and I do want to mention that because I got different sell alerts. Well, I got many sell alerts. It just happens to be when I was in front of my computer because this box was still red at the time. So now it's gone into a retracement, and of course it could be that it found the bottom for the day. Let's look at a 1-hour chart so we can see. Found the bottom way back here 2 hours ago, so we're approaching. It looks like possibly the trend wants to change. So I don't know that I would count on this going down any further. So hard to tell. But if you look, it wants to come down a little bit. So I would wait. In real life I would wait. But right now I'm going to show you how to close all in profit. Oh, I wanted to say that because I have 2 sell trades on in the US dollar yen, the Cynthia's trailing EA can only manage the first sell trade I put on. So it means that this first sell trade is being managed by Cynthia's trailing EA, but it can't manage the second sell trade. It can't, and even if this was a hedge, even if the second trade was a buy, it could not manage the same pair. It just is not that smart. It'll get confused. So the second sell trade is not being managed and will not be managed until I close out this first sell trade. So that's just an important thing about the trailing EA. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to drag close all profit to the US dollar yen chart and just drag it and attach it, and it closed out my little profit trade in the US dollar yen. Now I have the second sell trade that's still there, and Cynthia's trailing EA can now manage it. So that's one thing. Now I don't know what else to show you. Just remember, this is how I trade. If I get a trade alert, if I'm watching, if I have all my charts set up in 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, it doesn't matter. If you're in the 1 hour, that's okay, but if you're in the lower time frames, if you have all your charts set up for the lower time frames, oh, now we have another sell alert for the pound yen. So okay, but it's still mixed. Look at this range. I just, you know, this time of day we're just in a range. In a 15-minute chart, if I see the price break down and go a little lower, if the signal line breaks through the 0, then I'll go ahead and place my sell trade. But I'll put this in a 1-hour chart just to get ready to sell. It doesn't mean I'm going to submit, because all it's doing at this point is placing my risk to reward ratio, my stop and my take profit. Now you can see here everything is kind of greenish aqua, so this is not really, this is a range area, and I would not take that trade because right now in a 5-minute chart it's just not really that tradable. So I would not be placing this trade, but I'm all set up ready to place it. So I would really actually watch this in a 15-minute chart to sell. And my trailing EA is set to scalping, because this time of the day in 15-minute charts, that's scalping. Just so you know that you can have your chart set up in 5-minute or 15-minute or 30-minute, but always go to the 1-hour chart to use your EasyOrder to place your sell or buy, and don't click submit until you jump back down to the 5 or 15-minute chart, and then you'll know if that's really what you want to do or you want to wait. Now unfortunately this is like almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and that's why all of these pairs are in a range. So everything's fluctuating. This is the absolute worst time of the day to trade, is in the afternoon, before the New York session is closed because I'm in Central Standard Time. So it's like the worst time of the day to trade. So this is not a good time of the day to maybe for me to be teaching you how to do this, but I just wanted to be able to get started. Okay, thank you so much.